This short clip is from my live trading room. You can engage directly with my fabulous team and me at LaDucTrading.com for all our research and trades. Or for just my daily live streams, you can access via YouTube memberships. All links are in the description. But what I wanted to talk about also was what's happening with gold and silver. So this is actually finally starting to look bullish for that bounce that folks I know have been waiting for. But let's just take a look right here. This is silver futures, but it also looks just like gold futures. And here we have this kind of left shoulder, head, right shoulder, and it's just starting to break above this structure that has been flat since June, July, and now we're into August, and we have a little expansion candle here that looks like it wants to run into that kind of 44 upside area. Big picture, I'm still, let's just say, not highly convicted. I'm not highly convicted right now that it's going to go above that 4,400 on this go round, obviously, unless the dollar dumps really hard. Here's silver. I have to take a close up of it, but you can get the same kind of gist, which is left shoulder, head, right shoulder, and it's also starting to have a little move higher, and that move higher could be all the way back up into the 69 handle. It's at 62 right now for silver futures, and gold is sitting at that 4,000 handle for several months, and now it's pushing into 41.91. So we'll look at that on a shorter time frame, but this is an interesting fractal for those of you who do currencies and metals, as the dollar yuan has been absolutely in this direction since April intervention. I'm talking 2025. Silver has been absolutely in this direction. So after a few months of sideways, it's starting to look like this wants to move up and this wants to continue its trend, which is right. It had a kind of a time of consolidation. And now this is moving back lower into that 6.7 handle for the dollar yuan, USD CNH, and silver's getting a little bump. How sustainable? I have my doubts. And this is my other kind of funky ratio analysis that helped us get into this long back in spring of 2024 when it was consolidating, and then it did this. It did a masterful this. Right? It broke out in March and then it just continued. And then once it got above a really 2012 high, it was just in fugo for 2024, 2025. And then I warned here because it was 80% above its mean. And I was extremely nervous about that. A geometric mean of a ratio of gold and silver. I know it's a little funky, but I show it to you because it looks like it's actually having a good bounce right here. Finally, at this kind of, it's hard to explain this ratio, but the point is it's having a bounce that looks kind of bullish, and the inverse head and shoulder looks kind of bullish. And that's all I wanted to kind of highlight this morning, that the bullish vibe is yield curve control, 1999 fractal. Gold and silver are also getting a little support this morning. All right. Gold is the one that's new. It has been doing nothing for June, July, August is just starting. So it's starting to do a little something in August after falling from January all the way into May. And then it sat there for June and July. So we got a lot of weeks right now with bulls that are very anxious for this to get going. I would say it's a low risk entry long as it stays above 4160. So let's just kind of play that as more of a chase that could turn into a swing and then maybe something more. But as you know, I only have a little bounce here for gold expected into about maybe 4,400. So that's it. I've got 4160 into 4380. So that's it. That's what I'm expecting in silver and gold right now, but they're starting. Yield differential, here is an up close of the gold. It's trying to come back in from where it dumped in early June. All those sideways lost momentum players are now hopeful. And I think, unfortunately, it's going to hit its head around 4,400. Same thing with silver, coming up off this inverse head and shoulders I just mentioned into 65, probably an overshoot of 71. So you get something there. This is the geometric mean I'm talking about. Look at that nice stabilization from October 2025 before the melt up. And then this geometric mean of silver gold comes right back down all of June, all of July, and now it's starting to get a look of we'll see, of a Morningstar reversal. And if it gets back above the 10-month EMA for this intermarket tell that I absolutely love, It got us into this trade in 2024. It got me absolutely warning you on January 22nd. We're 80% above the mean. Be careful. And then we had on January 28th, 29th, a 36% dump in silver, a 16% dump in gold, and it had scared out all the last in or the first out bulls, and it has done nothing all year, and now it's just trying to stabilize. So I'm definitely looking at gold and silver as short duration as this move gets manic in the market. Gold is getting a little bid. Yeah, look at that. All right, so gold has been consolidating and it is trying to get something going. But like I said, I think it will get a bounce that will get rejected, but this is a good place to get to. So if you're chasing gold, here's just a kind of rule of thumb. We've gotten above the Bollinger Band. We're starting to break out above the 55-day. It does have a function, and it does look bullish for a chase into about 394. Let's see what happens there. I'm talking GLD. But we still have this flattening 200-day, which is going to be tough. But it's getting chased this morning. Yeah. So it's up 0.8%. What's leading this morning? All the metals on falling dollar. Look at this. Look at this. Of all my ETFs, of which I've got like 116, some are repetitive, I know, VIX in many different forms, silver in, the miners that are major and the gold and silver miners that are minor. You get my point? But the point is, look at this. This is a bounce in gold miners off this trend line. Look at that. Came down, came back up, and now it's racing into 85 for GDX. GDXJ, it's already there. Like, they're the fastest to move, right? SBSW, we talked about palladium and platinum and all that jazz. Right here at the 400 week, consolidated, and then it started to move, and then boom. It hasn't really gotten going yet, but it is a nice SIL, which is the miners, doing the same thing, and SILJ, which is the silver miners. Anyway, big, huge little bump in XME as well. 1, 2, 3. Why? Because the dollar. Look at the dollar. This has been boom, 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 and now a little stabilization, but this is all very supportive of miners. Also, what's supportive of miners? Falling oil prices, because their operating budgets are so heavily constrained by rising energy prices, and they print more money if energy prices are falling.
Join Club to trade with Samantha. Scan this QR code or click the link in the description.